Hezbollah is unleashing a fierce barrage of rockets and drones on Israel. 4 Israeli soldiers have died, while over 60 others have been reported injured. U.S. is now deploying its advanced THAAD missile defense system to support Israel, aiming to thwart any counterattacks from Iran. Our next report has all the details.
Hezbollah is firing deadly rockets and drones at Israel. Hezbollah's suicide drone strike on an Israeli army base near Binyamina, about 64 kilometers from the Lebanese border, caused massive deaths and destruction. This relentless rocket fire is sending Israeli civilians scrambling for cover. Hezbollah drones have also struck central Israel. Although Israel's missile defense systems intercepted most of the rockets, the sheer volume of the attacks raises questions about the capacity to withstand sustained assaults.
I arrived at the scene when there were already rescue forces giving treatment. I entered inside. The scene was very, very tough. Unpleasant incident, dozens of victims with various degrees of injuries.
The Iran-backed Hezbollah claims the strikes are in retaliation for Israeli air raids on Lebanon that have caused widespread destruction. Israel's Air Force continues its bombardment of Beirut and other regions, resulting in mounting civilian casualties and stoking fears of wider unrest. To bolster Israel's defenses, the Biden administration is deploying the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System, or THAAD system, marking a significant U.S. commitment to shield its ally against potential Iranian missile attacks. This high-tech, ground-based interceptor is capable of shooting down ballistic missiles, and its arrival includes U.S. personnel on the ground, along with Iran, Hezbollah, and Houthis. All have ballistic missiles in their arsenal. The urgency of this defensive buildup is underscored by the Iranian missile attack on October 1 that saw 180 missiles penetrate Israel's anti-missile defenses. This breach has heightened fears of Iran's ability to inflict serious damage in future attacks. And as the situation continues to evolve rapidly, the increasing American role and the ongoing rocket attacks mark a dangerous new phase in the conflict, with the potential to draw major powers into a wider West Asia conflagration. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Okay, for more on this, we are now being joined by Gabriel Noronha, former special advisor for Iran at the U.S. State Department Under Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and Executive Director of Polaris National Security. Thank you so much for joining us on WION this morning. President Biden is sending THAAD missile defense systems along with 100 soldiers to operate them. Does American boots on Israeli soil change the dynamics?
Well, thank you for having me. We've always had American presence in Israel. They're one of our closest partners in the region. And so that's not a change. The introduction of the THAAD system, though, is a demonstration the United States is going to more actively be engaged in Israel's air and missile defense going forward. And this is a product of an agreement between the Biden administration and the Israeli government over how Israel responds to Iran's October 1st attack against it. The United States basically made an agreement: if Israel curtails its response to Iran, the United States will play a more active role in Israel's defense. And so that's part of this. The THAAD system is capable of hitting lots of incoming ballistic missiles when they are close to Israel. And so that's going to help with any future Iranian retaliation.
And Israel has its own multi-layered systems, but do you think that they're able to counter Hezbollah drones and rockets successfully, or have they failed in a way that they needed more support and assistance from the United States?
So the projection was if you talk to any expert years ago, the expectation was that if there was a war between Hezbollah and Israel, the Hezbollah would completely overwhelm Israel's air defense systems. They were supposed to be able to launch 3,000 to 4,000 rockets and missiles a day and just overwhelm Iron Dome. We haven't seen that happen at all. We've seen Israel completely take out their ability to launch that high level of projectiles at Israel. And so what they're left with is doing sort of these one-off attacks. Now, some of those can get through, like the drone that just killed several individuals and wounded dozens. But I think that's more of a exception rather than the rule. So far, we've seen Hezbollah completely unable to breach or penetrate or overwhelm, certainly, Israel's missile and air defense systems.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, thank you so much for all those comments and your insight. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon as we're tracking this story very closely.
Certainly, always happy to come on.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.